The Travel Magazine is a series of 26 shows highlighting a wide variety of travel destinations from around the world and offer the kind of insight and background information that people are looking for. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer, host and executive producer of the Travel Magazine. Since 1988, Bonaventure Productions has produced a total of 52 travel shows. These shows have been broadcast on over 100 stations in North America with a potential audience of 60 million viewers. With the recent addition of the Super Channel in Europe, with 55 million subscribers in 26 countries, and the Discovery Channel, broadcasting to 60 million households throughout the United States, viewership of the Travel Magazine continues to grow. Recently, we began production on an additional 52 episodes of the Travel Magazine, and we've added a very special promotional feature which might be of interest to you. In each new episode of the Travel Magazine, we'll promote a luxury resort in a fully produced 3-minute showcase segment.
The beaches are lovely. They have white sand, warm water, and normally have sporting activities like snorkeling, scuba diving, windsurfing, all that.
Segments featuring vacation resorts will be produced on location and in full cooperation with resort management.
We care. The staff have been here, some of them 15 to 20 years. I think that tells you something. And they've grown with the hotel. I'm very proud of the staff here, and I'm very proud of my position. I'm very proud of this hotel.
As soon as we walk in the door, everybody, they've seen us before. Oh, it's nice to see you back here again, this type of thing. And that, when you're traveling, if you get that type of a welcome, it really does make a difference.
We'll feature available amenities, recreational facilities, and special services.
The chateau, I think when people walk in, they're instantly impressed. They walk through the lobby and it's like walking into a great French chateau. The 40-foot high beams in the Great Hall and the beautiful selections of Canadian art and folk art certainly tip people off that they've just entered into a pavilion of hospitality and into a new world, into a European world right in the coastal mountains of British Columbia.
The chateau's 100 years old. We've had Queen Elizabeth of England has stayed at the Chateau Lake Louise, along with the Duke of Edinburgh, of course. More recently, we've had King Hussein of Jordan, was just here a couple of months ago. We've had Lee Iacocca up from Chrysler Corporation. It's one of his favorite spots in the world. We've got perhaps one of the most comprehensive destination ski areas that you could find anywhere. The Lake Louise ski area across the valley has just added 2 brand new quad chairs, and they have some of the most varied and extensive terrain of any ski area in Canada.
On a day like today, you feel like you're on top of the world. You can see for miles, and the runs are beautiful. It's great skiing, and it's just beautiful terrain.
You have to come and see it for yourself. It's really the greatest place.
It's beautiful. You get the scenery, and the people are wonderful. The town's gorgeous. So you get a whole round view of everything.
It's an outstanding opportunity to reach a broad travel television audience and showcase your luxury resort on international television. If there was ever a place for dreams to come true, it's on a Caribbean cruise. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer, and this is the Travel Magazine. Join us now on Royal Viking Line's Royal Viking Star as we chart a course to 6 Caribbean islands.
Ready to go.
think we could equate a luxury cruise ship like this as a fine hotel. This is hassle-free. You'd make one trip, you come onto the ship, you have a beautiful dining room, you have wonderful entertainment, you have excellent food, and you have lovely accommodations. You unpack, you settle in, and you travel to the countries in your hotel. It's a floating luxury hotel.
The Chateau Montebello in the province of Quebec makes a terrific side trip if you're planning a vacation to Ottawa. It's a luxury resort, but well worth it. There's a story behind the Chateau Montebello. Christine Broussard is assistant manager.
The Chateau Montebello was built in 1930 in a record time of 3 months. 3,500 workers were laboring every day to complete it. The 3 original buildings were constructed out of 10,000 of red cedar log transported by the Canadian Pacific Railway from the forests of British Columbia. It's a place to relax, to bring family, friends, and have fun and relax in the same time. We have a lot of convention who comes here for 2 or 3 days, 4 days, and we have family who comes here for weeks, some of them.
Our travel agent advised us to come here, and I think it's really a perfect choice. The food is exquisite, the people are really nice with everyone, and there's so many activities one can do, either indoor or outdoor.
The resort provides one-on-one lessons with the experts. So we're not going to put the ball on the ground.
No, the very first lesson you learn how to swing.
You can book a session with golf pro Denis Morris. And it doesn't matter if you've never played the game before.
This has to be firm when you address the club and firm for the whole swing.
So.
Okay.
Hold that arm straight.
That arm straight.
Up.
You slide the hips towards the target. That's it. That's it.
This course here is a par 70. But it plays very difficult being a mountain course. The fairways are narrow, the trees are very close by, so you have to get some pretty good shots if you want to have a good score here.
Another feature at Montebello is the private marina.
People can make reservation in advance. They can have the same privilege than the hotel guests. And that's what makes the marina really popular in Montebello.
I came here via boat all the way up the Ottawa River, and we wanted to see the place on our way to Ottawa. We heard so much about it, we thought we'd drop in. It's been beautiful. I would say the marina facilities are by far and away better than we've experienced all the way up the St. Lawrence as an example, and even down the Trent River system. Well, as a matter of fact, we stayed for an extra day because it's really, really nice.
We'll be back with more ideas for a family vacation right after this. The Soviet Union has in many ways opened her doors to the West. Today, we'll show you the best ways to travel to and within the Soviet Union. But first, to a city known for its fast pace and fantastic scenery, Hong Kong. Some of the most beautiful cities in the world are Vancouver, Hong Kong, Cape Town, and Rio de Janeiro. Hong Kong's central district, it's an exuberant mix of high fashion, high tech, and high finance. Hello, I'm Jake de Boer, and this is the Travel Magazine. As one tourist put it, you have to bring your walking shoes. You'll find everything from deluxe international hotels to some of the finest restaurants in the world, and of course it's a shopper's paradise. So let's go on a tour.
We consider the best attraction in Hong Kong as the harbor, Victoria Harbor, right here. And I don't need to describe that. You can see the mountains behind with the buildings going up, like almost reaching up to the sky. And in the daytime or at nighttime, it's very beautiful. And the best thing to do is to take a cruise out in the harbor.
The Duck Ling is one of the last wooden junks in Hong Kong. Pierre Couder offers tours of the harbor in this unique craft. What was the Chinese junk originally used for?
Originally, the Chinese junks were used basically for fishing and for cargo and transport. They were not very much used to transport people. It was mainly for cargo. But this one was a fishing boat. The first attraction is obviously the boat, the way it's built and the way it operates, right? Now, obviously, Hong Kong, it's a very unique place, and there are a lot of things to do. I mean, for instance, there are every day in the harbor 10,000 crafts in motion. And there is a lot of things to look at. I mean, the buildings, the boats, there is a lot of action all day long within the harbor.
From the city's harbor, a trip to the top of Hong Kong by funicular brings you to Victoria Peak.
Local people use it for transportation, and for visitors, it's the best way to get to the peak. It's antique, although it was renovated recently. $6 and you're up to the peak in a few minutes. It's a novel way to travel.
When you mention Hong Kong to anyone, the first thing that comes to mind is shopping, with good reason, from boutiques to bargain alleys, from open-air markets to elegant shopping malls. The variety is overwhelming, but like everything else, you have to know the ropes.
So many shops, I don't know where to start.
Hong Kong is well known for its shopping, and many people, in fact, come here just for shopping.
It's overwhelming. I've never seen so many different kinds of articles in one place.
in my life.
Tailor-made clothing, for instance, or designer label clothing. Designer label handbags and leather garments are very good. Cameras, audio equipment, home electronics are all very good here. If you're going into a department store, a large department store, there'll be a price marked on the item, and that's the price you should pay. There's no bargaining there. But most other places that you find, single shops in shopping malls and out on the street, you should bargain there. You should bargain to get a fair price, what you consider as fair.
Oh, it's all a matter of haggling. Get in there and go for it, and if they say no, well, that's fine, walk off. There's 100 other shops to try from.
No. 50.
No.
Even a language barrier poses no problem when you're making a deal in the market.
Okay.
You know, it varies from store to store, and it all depends on their markup. But I think maybe it's not a bad idea to just make some sort of comparison. One of the most important factors is to look for the member of the Hong Kong Tourist Association, which is giving them quite a bit of confidence and guarantee, I think.
London's famous Savile Row tailors face stiff competition from the leading tailors in Hong Kong.
First, they select the fabric, and then we go to measure it up. And then we tell them when coming back for the first fitting. And after that, we will give them another time to coming back for the second fitting, and then finish the suits.
So how much time do you need to make one of these?
3 and 4 days.
Okay, so I just have to make a decision between the two.
Exactly. So then you tell me both or you just one.
You give me a discount if I take
I
both.
will give you a little bit.
How about much?
Sure, but your jacket comes to here.
No, you won't.
You're looking for the quality, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it very much. Thank you. Once people get back home and they want to have another suit made of a different material, is that possible?
Oh, that's very easy. You write to me, and then we send you some swatches, and you choose it, send it back with your personal check, and we keep your measurement forever.
As dusk approaches, sunlight gives way to neon, and you're faced with a dazzling array of diversions.
The night market is an exciting place with many activities going on. People are eating there. Hawkers or those people selling their goods are yelling out the prices, and people are bargaining. This is a scene that you shouldn't miss at night in Hong Kong.
When it comes to restaurants, the city has a worldwide reputation.
Oh, restaurants? What type of food do you like? Whatever it is, I think you can find it in Hong Kong, but we specialize in Chinese food, all kinds. Whether you're talking about Sichuan cuisine, Shanghai cuisine, or Cantonese cuisine, Peking cuisine, you can find the finest restaurants in the world right here in Hong Kong.
Coming up, discovering Chinese tradition and culture in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, the old and the new are never far from each other. Wong Tai Sin Temple is right downtown on the Kowloon side and is one of the many temples that can be visited. Here, worshippers ask for advice. Shaking a canister of up to 100 numbered fortune sticks until one falls out. The number on the stick is compared to a corresponding message. In America, you can visit Williamsburg and see a painstaking recreation of a colonial town. Here in Hong Kong is the Sung Dynasty Village. It will give you an idea of what life was like in China from the years 960 to 1279.
They can see the Chinese culture, house weddings going on, and let the tourists to know what color is good for the wedding, and you can see that everybody they wear the red in color costume, and that means prosperity and good luck, and that means it will bring the happiness for the bride and the groom. We have a performance in the opera house. The performance will be held at 4 times a day, and we have a acrobatic show, traditional Chinese dancing, and we also have a kung fu demonstration.
Volunteers are welcome, but it's clear that some things are better left to the experts. For a change of pace, there's Aberdeen, on the south shore of Hong Kong Island.
Aberdeen was one of the first communities in Hong Kong. Before the British arrived, it was a Chinese fishing village, also on the south side of Hong Kong Island. Right now, Aberdeen is most known for its harbor there, where there's a floating village. In other words, fisher folk live on their boats in the Aberdeen harbor, and that's one of the prime attractions to go out there. Another thing is our typical Hong Kong lunch, which is a dim sum lunch on the floating restaurants which are in Aberdeen. There are 2 of them now. One of them is the jumbo, and the other one is the Thai pack. So you have little pastries which are cooked in baskets, either steamed or baked, and served right on the table, steaming like that. That's something you shouldn't miss in Hong Kong. Have a dim sum lunch.
At dim sum, everything revolves around food, even the entertainment. Hong Kong has a worldwide reputation for its hotel industry.
Hong Kong has the peak seasons and the low seasons. And for a while, Hong Kong didn't have anything but a peak season. We have plenty of accommodations, and more so in the few years to come. For people that are overseas and they want to come to Hong Kong, the best thing is to go through your travel agent or say an airline through a package tour or whatnot. Maybe you can arrange it by yourself, where you want to go, where you want to stay, and step by step you can find the best place for you to be to do what you want to do, be it shopping or sightseeing.
I vacation here if I can every year or 2, 4 or 5 days. I like the excitement. Hong Kong is really the water and the excitement of the people, and the entertainment as well.
Remember, there's more to Hong Kong than just the Central District. There's Kowloon and the New Territories. You can explore 235 islands, but we'll have to save those for another show. Up next, a different kind of holiday, so stay with us.
Most people visiting Moscow come here first. Hello, I'm Matthew Cope, and this, of course, is Red Square, the heart of the city. Behind me is St. Basil's Cathedral, just one of the buildings around Red Square, which we'll see today. As well as Red Square, we'll take you on a tour of the Kremlin and show you some of the things that you really shouldn't miss when you visit Moscow. Everybody knows the name Red Square, but the story behind the name is less familiar.
It's not because of the color so much, but because of its beauty. And in the old Russian language, the word red meant beautiful. And the square, once being a very large marketplace, it almost had the same size. In the 17th century, became the gala square for major events of Russia. So the Tsar would appear on the square to talk to people. Also, sad events took place on the square. Executions took place. Some very interesting buildings are preserved. Among them is the most beautiful cathedral known today as St. Basil Cathedral, but its true name is the Cathedral of the Intercession of the Virgin, because Russians believe that the Virgin, the Holy Mother of God, always intercedes for Russia, for Russians. That's why one of the major cathedrals was dedicated to her.
Lenin's tomb is one of the most popular stops in Red Square. Tourists gather to watch the changing of the guard.
Lenin died in 1924. He was the mastermind of the October Revolution, and people connected with him their aspiration, their hope for the future better life. And when he died, it was decided to build a mausoleum, and thousands of people every day go to see Lenin, and they still believe that his ideas would improve their life, would make their life happier and better.
The word Kremlin means fortress. It's surrounded by 1.5 miles of red brick walls, and these days much of it is open to the public.
I've seen some palaces, but in my opinion, if you see one palace, you see them all. But I don't think that it comes to the Kremlin that you're going to see anything like this again in your whole life.
Indeed, you're not. The Kremlin's 70 acres boasts 3 magnificent cathedrals. The Cathedral of the Assumption, built by Italian architects for Ivan the Terrible. The Cathedral of Annunciation, home chapel of the Russian Tsars. The third is the Cathedral of the Archangel Michael. All these are now museums. Besides the cathedrals, museums, and the famous armory, the Kremlin houses the seat of the Soviet government.
The Kremlin has been open to the public in the 50s. You can find there the building where we have meetings of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR, which is the highest legislative body of our country.
One of the best ways for tourists to get around Moscow is the way that Muscovites get around Moscow, by metro. Not only is it one of the city's great values at only 5 kopecks no matter where you want to go, it's also one of the city's great showplaces.
The system of the metro is quite easy. There is one circular line connected by radial lines, and altogether there are about 100 of them. So the whole area of Moscow is covered by the metro line. I think majority of the people, even having private cars, prefer to go to the place of their work by metro because they can always depend on it. There are no rush hours in the metro. There are no policemen who can stop you for doing something wrong on the road.
One stop on the metro is Arbat Street.
Well, I like the Arbot. The Arbot kind of reminds me of being down in New Orleans, walking down in the French Quarter.
Arbat Street is the first pedestrian mall to be opened in the Soviet Union.
After the Second World War, there was quite a lot of restoration carried out in the street. Many buildings, as you see, were restored. But the traffic was still on at that time. Later, nearly 4 years ago, Muscovites decided to make it into a pedestrian street, so you can see no traffic here. Instead, you can see young artists doing portraits of people. People come and speak their mind, and really it's proved to be one of the best streets in Moscow.
It's interesting. It's interesting. My wife was out shopping tonight too, and Lord only knows what I'll end up with. But it's fun. I'd like to come here at night sometime. I think it's full of life.
Moscow can be an overwhelming experience, but if you want to see the city on a more human scale, visit Arbat Street.
Oh, the highlight of our visit has been the contact with personal families and the welcome that we have had as Americans. Genuine concerns for mutual desires for peace and very, very warm welcome.
No trip to the Soviet Union would be complete without a visit to the Moscow Circus. Visitors are guaranteed their money's worth at this, one of the most exciting and entertaining live shows on Earth.
You'll find that a trip to Moscow is quite unforgettable for all kinds of surprising, unexpected reasons. I'm Matthew Cope for the Travel Magazine. See you next time.